What's up, everybody? This is Dan from Dan's Trains, and I welcome you to my fourth episode of my layout series. Now, today I was just at my local train store, and I got some stuff. So first, let's get this unboxed, and let's get to it. So what you see right here is all the stuff that I bought. Now, as we go along in the episode, I am going to explain why I bought each car. So out of the things I bought today, this Frisco 3-bay coal hopper is clearly front and center. Now, I bought this car for three reasons. The first was I thought it was pretty cool, so I got it. The second reason is because of this cool little Frisco road name right here, and it matches the road name of my SD70 ACE, so I thought that would work. And the third reason I'll get to in a little bit. So when I was at the train store today, my dad and I were looking around, and we saw two different sizes of O-scale cars. We saw one type of O-scale car that was larger and another type of O-scale car that was smaller. And my dad asked me, why is that so? So I did some research, and I figured out, finally, that there are actually two different types of O-gauge. There's O27 scale, which I grew up using, and then there's scale, O-scale. And in this episode, I'm going to, try to clarify the difference between the two scales, because for one, starting the hobby of model railroading, especially if you're specializing in O-scale models, it can be quite confusing. So I'm going to try to make it easier for all you guys. So the cars that you see right here, they're scale O-scale. And the reason why they're scale O-scale is because, as you can see, they're quite large cars, and they are large like that because they're depicting realism. And the reason why Lionel and all these other companies have made scale cars is to make the hobby seem a lot more realistic. On the other hand, these cars right here are O27 or semi-scale O-scale. They are not as large, not as expensive, and a lot more toyish than the scale O-scale cars. Now, for beginners that are just starting the hobby, I personally would recommend that you buy this type of rolling stock. Finally, semi-scale O-scale or O27 scale is called O27 scale because the engines, cars, and everything can usually negotiate O27 curves. Now, to those of you who aren't associated with the hobby, an O27 curve is it's an O-scale curve, and if you make a full circle using only O27 curves, then the circle that you make will have a diameter of 27 inches. Now, between semi-scale or O27 scale O-scale or scale O-scale, I personally don't really have a preference because I kind of grew up with both scales. Now, to some hobbyists, some may like O27 scale, and some may like scale O-scale more. Some for the, toyish appearance, and others for the realism. Really, to each his own. Now, finally, before I end this episode, I got this flat car right here because I want to build a GoPro rig that I can drive around in my layout. Now, last episode, I experimented a little bit. I put my GoPro on one of my trains, and I watched the video, and I thought that was pretty cool, so I want to make a permanent GoPro rig. And I was at the train store, and the guy sold this flat car to me for $5. And I was like, that's a sweet deal, because usually this stuff's very expensive. So I bought this, and what I'm planning on doing is drilling a hole in the bottom of the flat car and putting a GoPro stand on it so that I can do layout running videos from the train in first person. That'll be really cool. Now, before I end the episode, let's see how these cars look on the test layout. So yeah, that just about wraps up this episode of the Layout Series. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I also hope that you found the information in this video to be useful to you if you're starting the hobby of model railroading. Thank you everybody for showing me so much support on my last 3 videos. Very much appreciated. Like, subscribe, comment, see what I can do better. And as always, this is Dan from Dan's Trains, and I will see you next time.